Good morning and aloha. Ohayou gozaimasu. Thank you very much for joining in our Sunday service. Today is another Sunday, September 13th. The day before yesterday, I was very shocked to know our Lieutenant Governor, Dr. Josh Green, tested positive. I was very disappointed because he was one of great leaders for the safety of Hawaii, and he has done very good job to protect us. And he did guide us not to spread the virus, not to be infected. He did an important role in Hawaii, but his staff tested positive, and he himself tested positive. He said he will continue his work from being isolation, but what he needs to do first is he needs to share his experience. What kind of situation he possibly got infected. He needs to share his experience. He needs to explain how possibly got infected. By sharing his explanation in detail, we can prepare, we can protect ourselves from the situations that easily coronavirus infected. What kind of situation? Was it from meeting? Was it from daily conversation? Was he wearing a mask? Was his staff wearing a mask? Was it from eating together for meal? How long did he spend together with the staff? And that situation, more exact information, the more we can protect for that kind of situation. So, although the fact Dr. Green was infected was actually, it says that no one is safe and anyone could be infected. That's a good example that anyone could be infected. But Dr. Green is not a regular person. He is one of the leaders of Hawaii. He needs to explain his own experience. Then, by hearing his experience, we can protect ourselves. We can prepare. And of course, instead of daily numbers of positive cases, it doesn't help us. Whether numbers are big or numbers are low, what we need to do is actually three things. What CDC recommend: wearing a mask, to be to have a social distancing, to have a distance with people, and wash hands for at least 20 seconds and as often as possible. So if we are doing three things, we can say we are pretty safe. We are safe. Then I'm very curious about what kind of situation did he follow this CDC guideline? And this is very important and very we need to know. Anyway, today I'm not wearing a mask because I am one of the most safe person in Hawaii, because my quarantine was completed successfully. So during the last 14 days, I didn't contact any person. I didn't expose myself to other people. I didn't go to shopping. I didn't go to Costco. I didn't go to Point Beach. I have stayed at temple for 14 days. I didn't meet people. So I didn't develop the symptom, and I am one of the safety people. And you guys, although Kauai, keeps zero or lower number cases, but people go shopping, people meet each other, so they may be infected, but I'm very proudly say, I'm free, I'm safe. But all I need to do is that I keep, following what CDC says. That is wearing a mask and keep distance and wash hands. And this actually 14-day quarantine was unbelievably stressful and frustrating. Because can you imagine? I cannot go out. When Kauai had locked down, still I had a chance to go shopping to get necessary items, right? Even everybody locked down, everybody stay home, but I had a chance to go to shopping, go outside. I had a chance to go driving. But this mandatory quarantine take off freedom to do such a thing. Even driving a car, around the island is one of the safest, actions, because if you don't go out, you are safe. But they're not allowed to do this, right? They stay home, and I think this, as an experience, my experience, 14-day mandatory quarantine is a wrong direction, imposing way too much thing for travelers and for the people who come from outer island. So I'm insisting 14-day quarantine, mandatory, is not good. But we keep recommendation, self-isolation, voluntary self-isolation is what we want to need. And indeed, on the day when I came back from Oahu on the August 24th, CDC announced that they dropped recommendation for mandatory quarantine for all travelers. They quit recommendation for travelers to do the mandatory quarantine. The reason is why? Because CDC recommends wearing mask, social distancing, and wash hands. And if you practice, if you follow CDC, you are safe. Then why do I need self-isolation, mandatory self-isolation? That is way too much enforcing people to do, and that is absolutely wrong idea. And what they want to do is that to keep zero number? I think to keep zero number is ideal. It's good, but no matter how good job, no matter how hard we work for zero, other areas, numbers are rising. What we need is that not local effort, but international effort and global effort. We need to work together area to area. We need to work together beyond states, beyond nation. That is truly necessary and important. And no matter how good for locally, we should remember, as long as other area no good, it come back and we cannot open, So what we need to is that to do the safety recommended by CDC while opening the Hawaii. If you continue, the Hawaii continue, mandatory quarantine, Hawaii cannot regain from economic damage. Hawaii cannot open. Travelers cannot come. So we actually more ask CDC, which is wearing a mask. Anyway, while I'm under a quarantine, I take temperature at least twice a day. So morning and nighttime. And by taking temperature every day, I found a very interesting fact. Every morning, I take shower, then I take temperature. And every morning, I found out my temperature is lower. And then nighttime is actually a little bit higher. And of course, not so much difference, but every morning after taking shower, I notice my temperature is little high and little low as compared to the evening. And this actually reminded me that what American doctors say, when you have a fever, take a shower. And this take a shower was very new because in Japan, I have been told when you have a fever, when you caught a cold, you should not take a bath. You should not take shower. That was what I have been told. But when I was, came to the United States, American doctor says, take a shower. Taking a shower, especially cold shower, reduce the fever. And I was actually reminded of this from the fact that I see the temperature in the morning after taking shower is lower. Oh, I actually kind of very moved to know, American doctors right. Taking shower reduce the number because as I see is a number every day, temperature every morning, temperature is lower as after taking shower. But one day I had a thought, what if I didn't take shower? Is it still lower? Is it supposed to be higher? And so I had a chance to take temperature before taking a shower. And then before taking shower, take the temperature, and after taking shower, take temperature. Then I found out whether I take shower or not. Temperature is lower in the morning. Wow, what? I thought, when at a glance, I thought, my temperature after taking shower is lower. Taking shower reduce the fever, but it was not actually right. If I see more, examination, then I found out this was wrong. Either whether I do take a shower or not, my temperature in the morning is lower. So this kind of misunderstanding is easily happen every day. If I see the partial fact, if I see the stick to the fact which is very part of the truth, is a partial truth, then I may be wrong as a whole. So what we need is that a wide viewpoint, wider viewpoint, and as a whole, the truth as a whole is actually very important. If I stick to the truth, and then of course the partially true is actually the truth, a part of truth, but it may be wrong as a whole. So I give you another good example. In July 25th and 26th, and then 27th, the big hurricane Douglas was coming close to the Hawaii Island. It was going to pass. It was going to hit Hawaii Islands. And then I was on Oahu, and I was able to catch a last flight, and almost all flights were canceled. And when I went to the airport, airport was pretty empty. I didn't see many people. And then I take picture that I didn't because I didn't see people. But one place, many people, there are many people at the boarding gate. I saw many people, but most of the places where I didn't see people. And if I actually take pictures of where people are not there, so I can actually taking picture and introducing pictures of empty airport, and then if I share the picture, people easily think, oh, because of hurricane coming, cancel all flights, almost all flights were canceled, and people were not there, very empty. But actually, there are areas that many people there. So if I can hide, this, many people, if I just tell them, people easily think airport is completely empty. And so we have to be very careful to provide the truth. If we pick up what we want to deliver, then we can give impression, give impression of my intention, but this intention may not be true as a whole. As a bigger picture, this may not be wrong. This may be not right. So if I give the pictures of empty, then people easily get misunderstand. So we have to be very careful. We need to provide information. So once again, if we look at the partial truth, we may be wrong. So we need to be open our eyes to see this world, correctly and then widely. Then we may not be wrong. That is, I think, very important. The 14-day quarantine is actually local efforts. It's good to protect Kauai, but the problem is that other areas, other countries are actually, the numbers of positive cases are rising. And as long as numbers rising, no matter how we protect Kauai, eventually people come, and then it may go back again. What we need is not partial effort, not local efforts, but it is international efforts, global efforts, working together, beyond states, beyond nations, and we globally work together to protect ourselves. Is actually important. So it is very important, once again, CDC recommends wearing mask, social distancing, and wash hands. If we can follow these simple things, 3 things, we can be safe. And so please be careful, and let's try to keep ourselves safe. I pray for your safety, and I pray for your good health. And please have a very safe and wonderful Sunday. Thank you very much. 如来大慈悲愛民5年同生10年ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブツありがとうございました。Thank you very much. Pure as an incense burner. I aspire for my mind to be like the light of wisdom. With every thought, I burn this incense of discipline and meditation to dedicate myself to the past, present, and future Buddhas of the 10 directions. Ishin Kyo in the lands of the 10 directions. I wholeheartedly take refuge in the Dharma, the teachings which eternally exist in the lands of the 10 directions. I wholeheartedly take refuge in the Sangha, the community which eternally exists in the lands of the 10 directions. We reverently call upon Shakyamuni Tathagata, the enlightened one, to enter this sacred place. We reverently call upon the Tathagatas of the 10 directions to enter this sacred place.
仏説無量寿経単独書仏語南無量寿仏偉人公明祭尊大小仏公明小不能下和久部公小薬部惑全部世界中庸言しない小道語や仏説な
ただの上極楽のためには南無阿弥陀仏と
なく往生するぞと思い取りて申す他には別の司祭そうらわず、ただし三人死守と申すことの総論は皆欠如して南無阿弥陀仏にて往生するぞと思ううちにこもりそうなり、この他によく深きことを存ぜば二尊の哀れみに外れ本願に漏れそうのべし、念仏を親善人はたとえ一代の法よくよく学すとも一文口の不丼の身になして天入道の無知の友柄に同じして死者の振る舞いをせずしてただ一方に念仏すべし、生のために良心をもってす浄土宗の安心企業この一子に至極せり、元空が所存この他に全く別義を存ぜず滅後の邪義をせがんがために所存を印をわんぬ、建暦2年正月23日大自在ご飯。Our founding master Hode's parting message, the One-Sheet Testament. Many Buddhist masters and scholars in China and Japan have understood Nembutsu as a contemplation of Amida Buddha and the Pure Land. However, I understand it differently. The recitation of the Nembutsu does not come from studying and understanding its meaning. To be born in Amida Buddha's Pure Land, we need only to say Namu Amida Butsu and believe without a doubt that we will attain birth there. Resolutely reciting the Nembutsu and believing in birth in the Pure Land naturally give rise to the three minds and the four modes of the practice. Should I withhold any deeper wisdom beyond the Nembutsu, may I then lose sight of the compassion of Shakyamuni and Amida Buddha and slip through the embrace of Amida's original vow. Those of you who put your trust in the Nembutsu, even if you thoroughly study the teachings that Shakyamuni taught during his lifetime, you should become like an unlettered, ignorant one or untrained devotee and not show any pretense of a learned person, but intently practice the Nembutsu. I hereby seal this document with the imprint of both my hands. The peaceful mind and practice of Jodo are fully imparted here on this one sheet. I, Genku, have no other teaching than this. To prevent any misinterpretations after my passing away, I make this final testament, transcribed on the 23rd day of the first month of Kenryaku. The infinite light of Amida Buddha illuminates the 10 directions of the world, and all who call upon his name shall be received and never abandoned. 南無阿弥陀南無
武士大願の阿弥陀仏発見教釈迦牟尼仏六法豪女少女諸仏観音聖主大菩薩極楽会へ少女大観衆と一切三宝お大事をナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムチナムアミダム
I revere the King of the great compassionate vows, Amida Buddha, the dispatcher and founder of the teachings Shakyamuni Buddha, all the Buddhas, as many as the sons of the Ganges, in the six directions, Kannon, Seishi, all the great bodhisattvas, the world assemblies of ultimately the beings of the pure and great ocean, and the three treasures and great compassion. 天下は純日合唱名空位祭歴国軍民内表願有首特公認襲来上ナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムチュナムアミダム May there be harmony below the heaven with the sun and the moon shining brightly. May the wind and rain be timely and disasters and calamity not arise. May nations be bountiful, people safe, and armies and weapons not to be used. Let us revere birth and humanity and cultivate respect and humility. Our High Patriarch Komyo, the Great Master Shandao, our founder, the Great Master Enko, Tozen, Ejo, Gokaku, Jikyo, Meisho, Wajin, Honi Daishi, Hoden Shonin. The Second Patriarch, National Teacher, Daisho, Shoju, Shoko Shonin. The Third Patriarch, the Recording and Meditation Master, Kishu Ryochu Shonin. The light of transmitting the pure land of the three countries, and all the great patriarchs by realizing the compassionate blessings. 当時解散上人、中高上人、歴代首上人と普賢行願教円満。ナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダムチュナ The founding master of our temple, the restorer, and all the priests who serve this temple with a Fugen practice will achieve perfect enlightenment. My prayers to my teachers and ministers, to my father and mother, to all the temple members, donors, and all living beings with whom I have karmic connections. May all those who are living experience joy, prosperity, and longevity without limit. May those who have died escape from suffering and transcend to be born into the pure. We pray for the peace and stability of our temple and for complete affinity with the past. May we be completely free of hindrances and cultivate our practice of the Buddhist path. Since the founding of this temple, to all the members, the daily and monthly memorial tablets, the recently deceased, those in the intermediate stage of existence, and to all spirits, may we cultivate virtues so that they may be enlightened. We bow here all with the virtues accumulated from this place of practice to transfer our merit to our beloved ones for their happiness and achievement of enlightenment. 先世領知を南郷し三界万礼無縁ないし法界堂々利益願にし功徳平等聖才と保持もないし往生安楽国 virtues to be equally bestowed upon all. And may we together develop the aspiration for enlightenment to achieve birth in the pure land of peace and bliss. June.
Namu Amida 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 Namu Amida
Sincerely wish to share the blessing with all beings. Together we are born into the pure land of ultimate bliss to achieve the way of the Buddha. May those who have gone before us to encourage us to attain birth in the pure.